So today I want to talk about something that I was reading about today. I was reading an article today about how a lot of people in my generation, Gen Z, feel that they're behind. And to be honest, I don't blame them for kind of feeling that. A lot of us have seen on social media these people posting videos of them going traveling, exploring other countries, driving expensive cars, having these luxuries. And the reality is that for a lot of us, this isn't the case. And I've had a lot of sort of thoughts about this. And I kind of came to the conclusion that we're not behind. And a lot of people have this idea that we are behind for several different reasons, whether if it's economical, older generations will say because it's lazy. I would completely disagree with that. What I will tell you is this. I think that a lot of it has to do with social media. These people have always existed. These people that sort of are in the upper echelon of society. These people that are wealthy. These people that have lots of money. These people that are able to afford expensive cars. But the difference is that now with the access to the internet and the use of social media, we're exposed to it a lot more. Back in the day, the only way that you were going to know if people were really living like this was the news or television. And that's not the only way now. Now we know because people are filling their social media feeds with the cool shit that they're doing. And for a lot of people, it makes them feel that they need to be living up to those standards. And the thing is that you don't need to be. In a lot of cases, these social media posts and this reality is not a reality. These posts that people are making about how much money they're making, what they're doing, how they're affording these cars, in a lot of cases isn't true. And in a lot of cases is a way to make themselves feel better and is sort of a way to front and make it seem like that they are doing much better than they are. Because the reality is that on average, most people that are in their early 20s probably aren't the most successful. And that's because you're inexperienced. You don't know much about life. And there's sort of this idea where a lot of people think that they're behind if they're not like the fucking CEO of a company. No. Do you think that most CEOs started out at 20? No. Now, are there exceptions? Of course, there's always going to be these outliers of people that are doing better than you. I'll be honest and say that there aren't people not doing well. There's plenty of people doing well. And I would argue that if you're in school right now and if you're putting in your best effort, you are doing good right now. That's what you're supposed to be doing at the age of 20. At 20, you're not supposed to be driving supercars. And that's not because you don't deserve it. It's because you haven't worked your way up. And that's a thing that I think that a lot of people are missing, is that it takes time to work your way up. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to require lots of time, lots of planning, lots of working. And I'm not saying that from a boomer perspective of saying that you need to put in the work, you need to put in the effort, you need to try your best. I'm saying this from somebody that is currently doing that, right? And is seeing success from it. I'm not going to disclose too much information just because I would like to keep that part of my life private, but I'm starting a new job. And this new job is quite higher up, I would say. I'm going to be working at a radio station, basically in charge of all of the non-music programming. And the reason why I'm saying that is because when I was 18, I was very far from it, but I had to work my way up. I had to work my way up in different positions. I had to practice. I had to do all these things. And the thing is that I think that a lot of people expect that they should be like at the top when they're 20, when that's not the case. Because the issue is that a lot of current role models are these influencers. We're not looking up to actors and musicians anymore as much. Now we're starting to look more up to people that are more letting us into their life. And the thing is about that is that when you do that, you're looking very deeply into somebody's life that is very different than yours. And that's what you have to keep in mind. They are rich from social media. They're not rich from hard work and college degrees. And that's not putting them down, but that's to remind you, like, look, it's a very different career path. And that's no, shit talking to you or to them. Like, it's really not. It's just the reality. And I think that a lot of people need to realize is that while you are working, it's going to take a lot of patience. It's going to take a lot of practice. You're going to spend a lot of time learning. That's one thing that I've learned a lot over the last 2 years of my life is that you don't always need to impress people. You don't always need to be these people that are in the front line, like trying to put themselves in the center frame. What you sometimes need to do is learn to sit down and fucking listen is sort of the best way that I've kind of learned about it. And the way that I always kind of tell people is like, look, you're going to need to sit down and learn from the people that you want to beat. And the reason why I say that is this, is that a lot of CEOs, a lot of these higher ups at companies, a lot of people that have the jobs that you want aren't looking to have those jobs forever. They're looking for somebody to replace them. They're looking for somebody to sort of be the next in line. And look, there's this narrative that a lot of people that are in higher up positions want to fuck you over, and this is partially true. However, what I will say is this. I've spent a lot of time learning from people that are much more successful than me. And that's taught me a lot about life. It's taught me a lot about work ethic. It's taught me a lot about a lot of different things. And so I know that I'm the 20-year-old telling you what to do on the internet, but don't always listen to the 20-year-old on the internet, I think is sort of the message too. Sometimes you need to just sit down, listen, and shut the fuck up and do what you're told. And I don't mean that in a sense of a negative sense. What I mean is that they are there for a reason. And I want you to learn from these people, right? And the thing is that if you want to succeed, it's going to take a lot of learning. And that's something that I think that sort of these online social media people aren't telling you, is that a lot of it is luck-based, unfortunately. And they don't want to admit that. But what they also are doing is that they are selling a false narrative. And a lot of them are starting to sell these courses and these projects and these different things and these classes that are basically designed to be, pay me money and I will teach you how to be successful. And I should tell you, and I just shouldn't go without saying, but if they really want you to learn something, they won't fucking charge you for it. So, don't listen to these fucking idiot fucking 18 and 19-year-olds that made it big off of a TikTok and think, I am the next big thing and you need to pay me money. No, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't. Don't waste your fucking money. Learn from the people around you and put in the fucking work, because I'm telling you it pays off. I'm telling you it's going to be great. But you like don't think that you're behind. If you're still kind of feeling this way at like 25-ish or a little later than that, then yeah, maybe it's time for a little bit of concern. But if you're 18 to 21 right now and you're concerned about your future, and as long as you're putting in the work, it works out. I'm telling you it works out. Like it takes a lot of patience sometimes. And I know that can be really frustrating and it can be hard to understand because you feel like you're alone in this, but you're not. A lot of people are feeling the same way that you are, and a lot of people go through the same thing that you go through. I'm not trying to be one of those people that says, everything works out, trust me, bro, buy a house at 20. That's not at all what my fucking point is. But what my point is that you're not behind if you don't have a sports car right now. You're actually just on time, and you're probably ahead of a lot of people and you don't realize it because you're comparing yourself to people that have gone above and beyond and have either gotten lucky or have some external third party that is sort of influencing the success, which is another thing. I think that a lot of people see these social media influencers sometimes think this person is successful on their own. A lot of times they're not, man. A lot of the times they have parents that are successful. They have parents that can sort of like fund this sort of thing. And a lot of us don't have that, right? And guess what, brother? You're gonna fucking prove them all wrong. And just because you're not the rich 20-year-old on Instagram doesn't mean that you're not going to be the wealthy 30-year-old. There's a difference between rich and wealthy. There's a huge difference. Rich is temporary wealth. Wealth is permanent freedom. And that's what you're really building towards. And, so that's just kind of what I wanted to talk about today. I just kind of feel like I've seen a lot of people kind of talk about how they feel behind. In a lot of cases, they're not. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped if you're kind of feeling this way or you're struggling in any way. So, I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you have a good rest of your day.
I never claimed to be, because perfect is perception. Perception is all that they can see. A vacancy replacing the space and place where my heart should be. Harping on these emotions, self-loathing, broken. What's wrong with me? A song to me is more than just some bullshit in words. It's the only time some nobody like me will be heard.